Hello everyone, this is Lincoln's Prime, and today we are taking a look at the Playmates Toys Godzilla, Kong, the New Empire, Kong, and Skar King 2-pack. Now, just like the Godzilla and Shimo 2-pack, this was also a Walmart exclusive, so if you were looking to pick one up, then Walmart is the place to find it. But anyways, let us move right along into the review. And firstly, I would like to take a look at the Kong figure, and this one, I will have to say, is definitely, in terms of sculpt, leagues better than the original GVK Kong figures, and that's mainly due to the fact that the sculpt on this is a lot rougher in terms of the texture of the fur detail, and the head is a lot more accurate. And another thing is the head is actually a lot more accurate to GVK than the GVK Kong head was to, GVK. So that's a bit of a plus there. But moving in on the detail of this figure, the head sculpt is phenomenal in my opinion. Eyes, of course, are pretty much the same as we've seen on Playmates, Godzilla figures, so that's pretty much nothing new there. In terms of the mouth sculpt is definitely a lot better, and the mouth on the inside is also entirely pink, which we don't usually see on these kinds of figures. Teeth are painted pretty decently, I will say. I mean, of course, it's just kind of splotched on, so it's not perfect, but hey, at least it's not crooked, so there's that. But we do have primarily a yellowish orange red kind of paint color on this. That's mainly due to the fact that this is part of a diorama set, so it has like its own little unique paint job, so that is something that's interesting. I like the way that it's painted. I don't like the way that it looks. This personally isn't really my thing, but hey, it is still pretty interesting for what it is. And we do have something new for Kong here, and that is his Beast Glove, which is an acronym for something, I don't know what it is, but it does look very nice. We have some tamper-graphed lettering on the side of it, which looks really cool. Lots of really nice paint work. We get yellow, we get some more details here, which I feel like should have been painted, but they just weren't. Not a huge deal. It's a $10 toy, kind of. We got some nicely painted silver right here on this portion of the arm, and we don't get it on the inside, but that's okay. The rest of this is pretty much just kind of the same color as the rest of the arm, and we get more of that yellow paint across here. So it is nicely painted, but there are some details that aren't painted to its fullest. But hey, again, not a huge deal, but it does look very nice. But yeah, so overall, in terms of all of his detail, he looks really cool. Now, when it comes to his articulation, we do have, basic, hinge thing at the head. I'm not sure what this is. I think it's supposed to be some kind of ball joint because he can look up and down just a tiny bit. Not too much, but it's something's there. There's something there. He can kind of look, side to side, a little bit of wobble there, but not much. Overall, it's pretty much just, head can turn. When you do turn the head, though, it does expose this little, detail of unpainted, plastic, so there's that. But the head does, move side to side. I'm gonna be completely honest, I've never really been a huge fan of how the heads move on Playmates figures, so, not a huge fan there. But, there's that. The arms can rotate all the way around, move up about that much, and about that much, swivel at the elbow, a bend at the elbow, swivel at the wrist, and one thing that is a bit disappointing is that we get pretty much the same articulation going down this arm, except for on the hand. The hand has no swivel whatsoever, so that is a bit of a disappointment. Legs can kick forward that much, back pretty much not at all, swivel at the thigh, a bend at the knee, and that is about it. Now, something that a lot of people, including myself, were wondering when I had this figure in hand was it looked like he had a waist swivel, and that's mainly because the actual waist and the torso itself are two separate pieces that they just glued together right here in the midsection. So I thought that there was a swivel here, but there really isn't. It's just one piece essentially. So yeah, I do wish that they could have added something there, but it's not a huge deal. But yeah, overall, the Kong figure is pretty nice in my opinion. Now, just comparing, here we have the GXK Kong next to his predecessor, the GVK Kong. And as you can see, yeah, lots of differences here. While the GVK Kong is good for what it was, they're definitely improving when it comes to, like I said earlier, the sculpt work, and yeah. But one thing that I have been noticing on these new figures is that they're getting rid of doing the paint wash that they used to do on GVK. Because as you can see, there's actually a wash throughout this entire figure, not on the back, but of course on the front. And I really like that, and I'm kind of sad that they got rid of it. But I will say, paint work on this guy, in terms of some of the smaller details, is way better. We actually have painted gums, no painted gums on this. This does have a painted tongue, but the entirety of the mouth on the inside is painted. The head is shaped kind of weird. It doesn't look like how Kong should have looked like in the movie. Head on this one looks exactly like how Kong should. Lots of more sculpted detail, because on this one the detail just kind of got lost in the figure. On this one it's very, very much more prominent. Now, one thing that you can do is just taking out the axe. I think you might be able to get him to hold it. I could be wrong. His hand looks like it may be a little too narrow, so I don't think you can really fit an axe in there, unfortunately. And yeah, after trying to test it out, no, the axe cannot fit in the hand. So that is a bit of a downside. Do wish that that feature could have been done, but hey, that doesn't mean that we won't get a Kong figure in the future that will maybe not have the beast glove and may include his axe, as it was featured in the trailer. So hey, not a huge deal, but there is that. Now, when it comes to his accessories, we only get one. We get this new style heave, or hollow earth vehicle, and this looks interesting, and it definitely looks like they built this to make it look like it could blend in with other creatures within the hollow earth. It's very animal-like compared to the old heave that we used to get for Godzilla vs. Kong. Here is the old heave, here is the new heave. Yeah, don't know how these are the same exact thing, but they are, I guess. But it does make me wonder who made this. I want to know, because the old organization, I'm trying to remember the name of it. Crap. Well, I don't remember the name of the organization, unfortunately. But yeah, the old organization that made this, they kind of, their leader kind of got killed. So who's making these? Who is in charge of whatever this program is? I don't know. Maybe it got restarted somehow. Maybe something. Apex, that was the name. Yeah. Who's in charge of these? I want to know, because if Apex got shut down, maybe it didn't, I don't know. There's a lot of questions that I have about this, but hey, that's maybe for another discussion, I don't know. But yeah.
And I'm mid-editing right now, and I just realized that, and I apologize in advance, I'm really tired. Anyways, Monarch is probably the organization that made it. I don't know why I didn't think about that, but yeah, Monarch is most likely the... Anyways, moving back into the video.
These are definitely, this has come very far from this, and I do think it's funny how the MonsterVerse is constantly progressing into the future. Because this was already futuristic to begin with. This is just 4 years later. So yeah, but hey, you do have that. If you want to, you can have him hold it like that if you want to. I don't really know why he would, but hey, it's something that you could do. But yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to Kong. And moving on, here we have the new big bad of the MonsterVerse, Skar King. And this figure really, really surprised me in a very good way, because Playmates really is showing that they can add a lot more articulation to just basic figures. And it looks like they're starting to experiment with abdomen joints. So that is really cool. But yeah, so before I get into that, let's talk about pretty much everything about this figure. Overall, the proportions of this guy look really good. There's a lot of really good molded detail in this. It doesn't get lost at all. It's very sharp. very much like Kong. It's very prominent too, so it doesn't get lost in its own sculpt. So it does look great. In terms of the paint, we get, basically white on the face, red as well, painted eyes, which look pretty nice. They are centered properly, so that is a good thing. The teeth are painted just a little bit lighter. The inside of the nose is actually darker than, what will, you know what I mean. So there's that. Everything else looks very nice. Sculpt, of course, is good. We get some more paint on the chest and the abs. Get some dark paint, kind of like a bit of a wash, I guess you could say. This is only specifically for the 2-pack Skar King, not for the regular release. But yeah, we get some interesting marks on his arms. I don't know what these would be called, so that is pretty cool. And we get some more white paint on the bottom of the feet. So yeah, overall paint on this guy is pretty good. Nothing really on the back, but yeah, in terms of just everything going on here, it is really cool. Now when it comes to his articulation, it is pretty much similar to Kong, but there's a few added things. Of course, we do have swivel in the head, which again, I'm not a fan of how that's cut. We do have rotation at the arms, which can go all the way around like so, move out that much and that much, swivel at the elbow, bend at the elbow, swivel at the wrist, all the way around on both sides. We do have a ball joint in the abdomen, so you can crunch down that much, arc back that much, side to side, and rotation. We do get some kicking action, I guess, so the legs can kick forward that much, back that much, swivel at the thigh, bend at the knee, and that is about it when it comes to articulation. But hey, it is very, very nice that we have all of this for this figure. Now, he does have an accessory, and his accessory is actually on him right now, and it's this whip. So basically, this does, pop open, and here's the whip accessory, and it's, as you can see, just basically molded skin tone, bone color plastic. But we do have some extra paint on this as opposed to the regular release, so we do have some more of this kind of black wash right here on that area, and on that, I guess you could probably call it shading. That's probably more appropriate, honestly, but it looks pretty cool. And of course, there's this little part right here. Hand has an open part right there. Just push it in, and he has his whip, and that looks pretty cool. Now, because it is a 2-pack, we do have, of course, the diorama pieces, and it is a 4-piece set, so that is pretty cool. We do have pretty much these lava bits. Pretty sure, I don't think this is hollow earth. I'm pretty sure this is above surface. I can't remember what it was labeled as, but we do have some lava. We got some, more lava detail right there at the top on both of these. We get some more picture detail going on, some steps and stuff. So I don't know what this is supposed to be. And of course, we have more hollow earth crystals. And just to compare, here we have the hollow earth crystal from the Godzilla and Shimo pack. So they are the same, just colored differently. So there is that. But hey, it's a cool little inclusion. Again, you can just have Skar King. If I can get him to stand, there we go, Skar King, and where is, oh, there he is, and Kong battling it out in this little diorama set. So yeah, very nice little inclusion. Of course, a lot of the Playmates stuff, they have been including these cardboard cutout dioramas with 2-packs, so that is something that I think is pretty neat. But yeah, so there we have that. And for a size comparison, here we have the 2-pack Kong next to my previously reviewed 2-pack Godzilla. And yeah, these two very much well go together, and I love the way that these look. Here we have them with the 2-pack Shimo and the King of the Monsters / GVK Godzilla. And to compare with Skar King, Godzilla, Shimo, which I'm very positive these two will be working together in the film, and pre-evolution Godzilla. And overall, for my final comments on this 2-pack, I would absolutely have to recommend picking up if you want to get the other 2-pack as well. These definitely go really good together, and for 20 bucks each, I gotta say that I'd say, they're worth it. And, they're a lot of fun to mess around with. The cardboard cutout feature, while it's not as convenient. It is something that is there, and it is something that, you know, you can mess around with. You know, if you want to have your figures have something to put in the background, then there is something there. But yeah, overall, when it comes to the, you know, paint, sculpt, detail, whatever, these are great. I mean, yes, they're the same as the basic, you know, 6-inch figures that come individually, but if you want to have a little bit of extra paint, a little bit of extra detail, then, you know, the 2-packs may be what you want to, you know, what you may prefer. So there is that. But yeah, and again, they go well together, and yeah, so pretty much that is about it for this review. I hope you all enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.